Hello guys, so this video is going to be, well, this human calculator trick video is going to be about cyclic numbers and how I can multiply cyclic numbers by just some small numbers. For example, 142,857. That's a nice, easy one because 0.142857 is equal to 1/7. As you can see, I have this number generator here. So if I multiply 142,857 by any number between 2 and 6, then I'll have the same set of numbers going in the same pattern. All right, I got 3. That's 428,571. So I multiply this by that. There we go. And another one. 2. Okay, well, that's also simple. That's 285,714. You know what I'll do? I'll just take away this amount. Yeah, you can also do that kind of a calculation. Because with that group of numbers, well, if you multiply 142,857 by any number between 2 and 6, then you get the same set of numbers going in the same pattern. If you multiply it by 7, though, then that equals 999,999. And if you multiply it by 8, it's 1,142,856. Because here's a trick. 1 plus 142,856 is 142,857. So that simply gives you the idea of the trick. Now I'm going to move on to the next cyclic number, which is the number that indicates the reciprocal of 1/17. Now I'm going to take the number 588,235,294,117,647 and multiply it by 3 different numbers between 2 and 16. It's going to be super challenging. And I got 11. Times 11 is 6,288,235,294,117. Now I multiply this number by 11. There we go. Wow, that is a huge number. Now let's see what other number I can multiply this by. Oh, I got 12. Okay, well, that kind of does seem easy compared to the others because if I multiply it by 12, then that's 7,823,529,411,764. You know, because this is multiplied by 11, I'm actually going to add another of this number right here. Let's see if it is. So 7 quadrillion plus. Yes. Now, one more number from this. Wow, 13. Okay, I got 11, then 12, and 13. Times 13 is 7 quadrillion, 647 trillion, 58 billion, 823,529,411 times 13. So that should be 7.6 quadrillion. Yes! Now I'm going to move on to the number that is the reciprocal of 1/19, which is 52 quadrillion. Yes, it's a big number, by the way. 52 quadrillion, 631 trillion, 578 billion, 947,368,421. And times 19 is equal to 18 nines. I'm going to multiply this number by 3 different numbers between 2 and 18. Let's see the first number. I get 3. So that times 3 is 157 quadrillion, 894 trillion, 736 billion, 842,105,263 times 3. Yeah, that's it. Now the next number I get on my generator, 13. Times 13 is 684 quadrillion, 210 trillion, 526 billion, 315 million, 789,473. Now for a multiplication check, times 13. Heck yeah! Now for one more number, 9. Times 9 is 473 quadrillion, 684 trillion, 210 billion, 526 million, 315,789. Let's do a multiplication check. Oh my heavens. The prime number that comes after 19 is 23, and the reciprocal of 1/23, so the number that keeps repeating in cycle is 434 quintillion, 782 quadrillion, 608 trillion, 695 billion, 652 million, 173,913. But I'm only going to take, so I can multiply this number by 2 and 22 and get the same sequence of numbers, but I'm only going to take one number between 2 and 22 and multiply it by that 434 quintillion plus number. Goodness, I do feel overexcited for this. 4. So if you multiply the whatever number I just said, 434 quintillion plus, so if I multiply that number by 23, then that's equal to 22 nines. But I'm just going to multiply it by 4. So the reciprocal, that would be 4/23. I'm not going to say like 0.0434 in this, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to multiply that huge number by 4. So here I go. 1 sextillion, 739 quintillion, 130 quadrillion. I was about to say trillion, sorry. 130. All right, I'll start this again. 1 sextillion, 739 quintillion, 130 quadrillion, 434 trillion, 782 billion, 608 million, 695,652. Let's see how that comes out. Times 4. Oh my. Good heavens. I just don't know what to say. Good heavens. Like, I could go the easier way, and let's say that's 3 and 5/7 would be 3.714285. Or I could say 5 and 7/17 would be 5.4116470588235239, and so. Like, I could just repeat digit by digit, but I just want to do it even the harder way, because the number that represents the repeating cycle of the prime reciprocal, and I want to multiply it by a certain number between 2 and p minus 1. But it doesn't work for all prime numbers, by the way. It works for 29, but the next cyclic number after 1/29 is 1/47. So 1/29 and 1/47 also have a repeating cycle of, oh hey, sorry, that was my mom. But yeah, if you divide by 29 or if you divide by 47, it also works. That you get a repeating cycle of p minus 1 digits. So it works for 7, 17, 19, 23 as well. Anyway, guys, so that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this human calculator trick video. Tomorrow I'll be looking to do another reaction video, in which is something which I had done a story time video about yesterday. I'll see you guys.